Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the Operations Committee for the County of Renfrew for Tuesday, June 11th, 2024 to order. As we gather here this afternoon, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of Council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the First Nations. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. We're extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Has roll call been taken?
Yes, thank you, Chair, and we have quorum.
Thank you, Evelyn. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion for the adoption of the minutes of our meeting of May 14th, 2024. Moved by the member from Armpire, seconded by the member from McNabb-Braeside. Any comments, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, and that is carried. No delegations listed at the time of the agenda being sent out. So we'll move on to item number 7, the Director of Public Works and Engineering report, which can be found on page 10. Mr. Perkins.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon, Committee. And through you, item 1 on my report is the monthly project status report, and that will be attached as Appendix 1, and more information will come in the divisional reports. Item 2 is the capital program variance report, and that will is attached as Appendix 2. Item 3 for information is the facility condition facility condition assessment. So County Council during our budget deliberations identified $25,000 to do a facility condition assessment on one of our properties. The Development and Property Group is actually conducting a condition assessment of their properties and has offered to include our patrol yard main buildings in their study. And thankfully, the budgeted amount of $25,000 will cover all 4 of our buildings. This is just the main building patrol garages, not the outbuildings. So we're very excited that we'll have a condition index for all 4 by the end of the year. And with that, I'll go on to ask for questions. You can go on and delegate item 4 under delegated approved authority approvals. The following item was approved under bylaw 9824, delegation bylaw. Section 6 agreement subsection 6.2, which is PWO 2024-04, 2 tractors with the attachments from Huckabone's Garage Limited of Cobden, Ontario, in the amount of $240,000 plus applicable taxes. The background is there for you. That was the number of tenders that there were. There was one rejected, of course. So in this instance, we actually carried money from our 2023 budget of $127,000 to make a combination of $252,000, which is more than enough to cover the purchase of this unit. And then under item 5, which was an addendum to your package, delegated authorities approval. The following item was approved under bylaw 9824, delegation bylaw, section 6, agreements, subsection 6.2, PWC 2024-04, asphalt patching and scratch coat paving in various locations throughout the county of Renfrew. Greenwood Paving of Pembroke Limited, Pembroke, Ontario, in the amount of $659,856.88 plus applicable taxes. As you can see, there was 3 tenders received for this, and Greenwood was the lowest. And we do have money in the budget, was for $750,000, so we are within budget on this one. And that concludes my report.
Okay.
Chair.
Thank you for that. I will back up to item number 1, the monthly project status report. Comments or questions? Item number 2, the capital variance report. Item number 3, the facility condition assessment. As you remember, our previous discussion, we had pared that back just to do the one building to fit into the budget, but now I guess we can get the 4 of them done, which is good. And item number 4, the awards under our delegation of authority. The member from Laurentian Valley.
Thank you, Chair. Just curious as to what attachments were included with the tractor purchases.
Mr. Bolduc.
Thank you, Chair Doncaster. And just to answer the question to Councillor Watt, We do have the PTO attachments. Basically, with that one, we have our normal equipment that would attach the PTO equipment to the PTO. But for this one, we do have a set of forks that we use for the tractors on a regular basis for unloading culverts and other items at the patrol. So it's just the forks under this one.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else on item number 4? And then for the addendum, item number 5. Comments or questions? Seeing none, we will move on to the, where are we going? Capital Works Division report, I think, next. I apologize, I'm trying to cipher through the new format here that's a little bit different. I would point out that on the main agenda, it doesn't specifically identify the Capital Works Division report, or I can't see it. Capital Works information, because it does identify the Operations Division. Well, anyway, in the agenda, it doesn't separate out the 3 reports as it used to.
Yeah, it's just yeah, and we'll walk through that. We're learning from
yeah,
that, but Evelyn will have a comment.
Sorry, if you look at the Director of Public Works and Engineering report, Capital Works information, that is the report. It should have said the division report. So it's item B,
Item B, okay.
and then item C is the resolutions. And then we go down to item F would be your operations, so,
Yeah, okay.
okay?
Yeah, perfect, thank you. So we'll move along to the Capital Works Division report, or as the agenda identifies it, the Capital Works information.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to committee. Information item number 1 is County Road 72 Ridge Road and 73 Deep River Road rehabilitation. County of Renfrew staff have been working in partnership with staff from the town of Deep River on scoping and designing the rehabilitation of County Roads 72 Ridge Road and 73 Deep River Road, located in the town of Deep River. The desire was to realize savings for both parties in the partnership due to similar infrastructure requiring work in the same area. The 2024 capital budget includes funds in the amount of $315,258 for the reconstruction of County Road 72 Ridge Road from Champlain Street to County Road 73 Deep River Road. Town staff have requested this project be deferred as the town is in the process of developing a community improvement plan, which will most likely include proposed changes to this section of road. The 2024 capital budget includes funds in the amount of $668,610 for the rehabilitation of County Road 73 Deep River Road from Huron/Algonquin Street to Champlain Street. The town solicited the services of JP2G Consultants Incorporated to undertake the design for this section of road, and county staff have been involved in reviewing each stage of the design. The design's now been completed and a request for tenders has been issued. Project responsibilities and cost sharing will be assessed through County Policy PW23 Infrastructure Expansion, subsection 2.2 Rehabilitation of Existing Infrastructure to Similar Geometry and Alignment. A special meeting of Operations Committee may be required pending the outcome of the tender results in order to recommend approval of the county's portion of the contract prior to the June meeting of County Council. So if the project should come in under budget, we may be able to award through delegated authority. If not, we will have to schedule a special meeting in order to facilitate it. Information item number 2 is County Road 10, Baskin Drive, pedestrian crossover request. The town of Arnprior has circulated the County of Renfrew Public Works and Engineering Department with a municipal resolution dated May 14th, 2024, and is included as Appendix CW1, requesting that the County of Renfrew permit the installation of a pedestrian crossover at the intersection of Baskin Drive, County Road 10, with Leo Moscow Street. In accordance with County of Renfrew Corporate Policy PW14, pedestrian crossings on county roads, Public Works and Engineering staff will conduct a review of the proposed location, including a traffic count, to determine if the location meets the warrants for a dedicated pedestrian crossover. Staff will report on the findings at a future Operations Committee meeting. Information item number 3 is PWC 2024-39, rehabilitation of county structure C325 Nelson Creek Culvert. A request for tenders was issued for the rehabilitation of this county structure located on Lake Clear Road, approximately 2 kilometers south of County Road 512, Voymount Road, in the township of Bonnechere Valley, and the results are shown there. The budget for this project is $500,000 for 2024. As the tender has come in much higher than that budget, staff have decided to not proceed with the tendered, which was a rehabilitation using a geopolymer liner, a spray-in liner, and are going forward with a internal design and replacement through our day labor staff, which is anticipated to come in under the allocated budget for 2024. And I'll pause there, Chair, to see if there's any questions about the information items.
Thank you for that. We'll move back to item number 1, County Road 72, Ridge Road, and 73, Deep River Road rehabilitation. Item number 2, County Road 10, Baskin Drive pedestrian crossover. Member from Armpire.
Thank you, Chair. To Taylor, are we going to use any information from our master transportation plan that may support this or may not?
Mr. Henrath.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to the councillor from the town of Armpire. The master transportation plan is still under development, so we would still have to do our own study of the area to confirm whether it's required or not, or warranted or not, sorry.
Anything further on 2? Item number 3, PWC 2024-39, rehabilitation of county structure C325, the Nelson Creek culvert. Member from Armpire.
Thank you, Chair. In that we're going to save money, do we have a guesstimate how much we're going to save?
$50. I haven't issued Mr. Henrath a crystal ball, but I'll let him throw himself under the bus.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to the councillor from the town of Armpire. We've done a conceptual design thus far. We haven't dove into the details, but approximately $50,000 under budget is what we're hopeful for with the replacement option that we're proceeding with.
Supplementary.
Thank you, Chair. Just in that we're going to start this project in-house, we're going to have to finish it in-house. So I'm hoping we're under budget. Thank you.
So staff do also. Anything further on number 3? Was it 3? Yeah. Seeing none, we'll move on to bylaws.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to committee. This bylaw is PWC 2024-12, County Road 512, Foymount Road rehabilitation, and the recommendation is that the Operations Committee recommends the County Council approve contract PWC 2024-12 as submitted by Greenwood Paving Pembroke Limited, Pembroke, Ontario, for the rehabilitation of County Road 512, Foymount Road, from Hubers Road to County Road 515, Quadville Road, a distance of 3.44 kilometers in the Township of Brudenell, Lindock and Raglan, and Bonnechere Valley in the amount of $1,318,940.64, plus applicable taxes, and that County Council adopt a bylaw to execute the contract, and that... Yes, thank you.
And that's it for now. Can I get a mover and seconder for the recommendation? Moved by Warden Emo, seconded by the member from McNabb-Braeside, and then some background and the expanded recommendation.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to committee, a summary of the background that's shown here. So a request for tenders was issued for this rehabilitation project. They did come in slightly over budget, at projecting to be $394,000 over the budget for the project, primarily due to the higher amount of steel beam guide rail and CSP culverts requiring replacement along this section of road. And I'll pause there to see if there's any questions. We do feel that savings in the 2024 capital plan will make up for the overage in this project.
Okay, thank you for that. I was going to point that out, that the last paragraph shows that, as committee will recall, I think about the last 8 tenders we come out were coming in slightly under, so there is room in the budget. Is there any questions or comments? Seeing none, I will call a question. All those in favor, and that is carried. Just additionally to that, you will see, based on, I guess, our new software. I was looking for a name for the software, but you'll see attached to this is the report, is the bylaw itself, which will be what will be attached to County Council. So we'll move on to the next bylaw, PWC 2024-15. Mr. Hanrath.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to committee, the recommendation for this bylaw is that the Operations Committee recommends the County Council approve contract PWC 2024-15 as submitted by Bonisher Excavating Incorporated, Renfrew, Ontario, for the rehabilitation of County Road 515 Palmer Road from County Road 62 Combermere Road to Finch Road, a distance of 6.67 kilometers in the township of Madawaska Valley, in the amount of $1,720,067.61, plus applicable taxes, and the County Council adopt a bylaw to execute the contract.
Thank you for that. Can I have a mover and seconder for the recommendation? Moved by the member from Madawaska Valley, seconded by the member from Arnprior. And the details, please.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to committee, I'll summarize the background that's shown here. A request for tenders was issued for the project for the rehabilitation of the 6.67 kilometers of road. The two submissions that were received are shown here. We're projecting to be approximately $28,395 over budget. Though this is minor, we still anticipate the savings on the capital plan overall to make up for this overage.
Thank you for that. Any comments, questions? Mr. Kelly.
I just want to confirm through you, Chair, these, both these roads, this particular, because we've already spoken about the other one, these are receiving the hardened shoulders as well, right? The 1.5 meters? Or the 1 meter, I mean?
I believe Mr. Hanrath.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to the CAO. I believe so. I would have to check and confirm that, but I think they are getting the 1 meter paved shoulder.
Okay, member from Madawaska Valley.
No, I just wanted to say thank you for looking after this road. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. We have another one here. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, just a quick question. 6.67 kilometers, and it works out to about $257,000 a kilometer, and the other one was about 383 or $350,000 a kilometer. Why? And it's just, you know, because you're always trying to figure out what it, you know, when somebody says, do you know how much it costs a kilometer to do stuff?
Yeah, I'll pass that to Mr. Hanrath.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to committee, just give me one moment here. I just want to confirm what the scope was for the two projects. That as well. Yes, so one is a mixture of a microsurfacing on a certain section and a pulverize and pave on one section, so that lowers the overall cost. And the other section is a pulverize and pave throughout. That's the higher cost.
Okay.
Thank you.
Learn something every day. Perfect. We'll move on to County Road 1 River, anything further? Seeing none, nothing, all those in favor? And that is carried. And then County Road 1 River Road.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to committee, the recommendation is that the Operations Committee recommends the County Council adopt a bylaw to dedicate Parts 2, 3, and 4 on Plan 49R 16967 as part of the County Road 1 River Road Public Road Allowance.
Can I have a mover and seconder for the recommendation? Moved by the member from McNabb Braeside, seconded by the member from Madawaska Valley. And the detailed background?
Thank you, Chair. Through you to committee. So the background here is that this property was purchased, I believe, back in 2009. At the purchase, it was never officially dedicated as public road allowance. During a recent severance, it was identified that it was never brought in as public road allowance, so we're just cleaning up the property title.
Thank you for that. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that is carried. And now we will move on to the Operations Division report. Mr. Bolduc.
Thank you, Chair Doncaster. I present the Operations Division report for June. Under information, item number 1 is summer operations. Staff have been very busy, and you'll see a lot of items here. Item number 1, or A, is street sweeping, urban areas only. The awarded contractor, Allen McCoy Contracting Incorporated of Stittsville, Ontario, commenced work on May 6th and completed work on May 27th. Item B is maintenance hole and catch basin cleaning. The awarded contractor, Excite Enterprises of Eastern Ontario, Arnprior, Ontario, started the first week of June and is scheduled to be completed by the end of June. Item C is pavement marking. The awarded contractor, Trillium Pavement Marking, Carleton Place, Ontario, the correction here is anticipated to commence next week. And the line painting, as anticipated, the maintenance portion is anticipated to be completed by August 25th. And the capital works line painting is anticipated to continue until the end of the construction season. So that's painted as each capital project is completed. Within 14 days, they come in and do the line markings. So, and that's anticipated to be complete later on in the season. Item D is bridge cleaning and inspection. Staff are proceeding in the spring bridge cleaning inspection program, and it takes place each spring in order to clean the winter materials off the bridge, the salt and sand. And we also check for any damage from accidents or any of the deterioration from the materials on the critical areas such as the expansion joints. And we also conduct smaller repairs and report anything to the capital division that needs larger repairs. Item E is shoulder grading. Staff are working diligently to complete the shoulder grading for the spring season, and they're going to complete that as soon as possible. And we anticipate that it should be completed in the next few weeks, just to give you an update on that. Item F is trail maintenance. Operations staff continue to work with the trails coordinator to complete repairs and maintenance of the countywide recreational trail system. Operations staff are currently grading, compacting, and carrying out dust suppression program at this time. Item G is brushing and ditching program. Operations staff have commenced the spring brushing and ditching program, and weather permitting, will utilize the 3 units to complete as much as possible during the summer season. Item H is roadside safety device program. Operations staff are continuing with the maintenance and repairs to all the damaged guide rail, guide wire, and guide posts, and have resulted from motor vehicle collisions and ongoing replacements due to deterioration of the equipment. Item H is hazardous weed program. Operations staff have submitted the proposed alternate notification request to the Ministry of the Environment. And actually an update, we just received approval on that since the writing of the report. And we are anticipated to commence the spring program on June 24th, and is anticipated to be completed by July 26th, weather permitting. Item number 2 under fleet management. Item A is motor vehicle inspection program. So this is a large change. The Ministry of Transportation is modernizing the vehicle inspection program. And just a bit of background, we currently, our 3 mechanics are licensed to inspect all the county's vehicles, including the public works vehicles and the emergency services ambulances as part of their duties. And so they're, in this modernization, we have to apply for this new program, and we're going to be issued tablets, and everything will be automatically submitted to the province for approval for these updates. And item B is replacement service truck. So we ordered this truck in 2022. It's the 3rd of 3. And so all the mechanics, all 3 mechanics have new service vehicles in the last few years. And this unit was a 2023 Dodge Ram 3500, purchased from Fraser Durham Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Oshawa, Ontario. And I don't know if you have any questions on the first part, or would you like to continue to the final?
I'm fine to continue
Okay, great.
on, yeah.
Item number 3, quotations and tenders. The following tenders have been awarded under the authority of the Director of Public Works and Engineering or the Chief Administrative Officer. In all cases, the procurements have followed the process set out in Corporate Policy GA01, procurement of goods and services, and staff confirm that there are sufficient funds to complete the purchases as tendered, and all amounts exclude applicable taxes. Item A is PWO 2024-07, traffic signs, decals, and blanks. The low tender was Stinson Equipment Limited, and in the amount of $48,197.83. Good news, we had quite a few of the townships that participated in us. The list is included there, and we will invoice the townships their portion as they pick up, as they're delivered, and they pick up their all their signs and all the other equipment that is part of this tender. Item B is PWO 2024-08, steel signposts. The awarded contractor was from Single Source Supply Incorporated from East Gwillimbury, Ontario, in the amount of $24,215. And this quotation as well, we had a lot of townships participate in this tender as well, and again, we will be invoicing the townships as the signposts are delivered to them. Item C is PWO 2024-19, weed control. You'll see the bids listed there, and you'll see the award is a different amount. Just to explain that, we only awarded the amount that we for the amount that we know that the work is going to be completed, and that is the truck-mounted spraying. We do ask for prices for backpack spraying and hose reel spraying. We don't anticipate we'll be using it, so we only award for the truck-mounted spraying, and then if we do need the other items, we will that will be ordered separately at a later time. So that's you'll see that's why the price difference there. And the reason why we don't list it here is it's the prices are proprietary, so we'd leave them for as part of the contract. And you'll also see on this there were a few townships that joined us in this tender, and we also act as advisors and give them standard documents to be able to work with the ministry and give them background on the materials such as the spraying, the chemicals, the new approvals on the chemicals, and that type of information. And with that, I'm done. If you have any questions.
Thank you for that. I'll go back to information items number 1A, street sweeping. Item 1B, maintenance hole and catch basin cleaning. Item C, pavement marking. Member from Empire.
Thank you, Chair. I know the line painting when they come to stop signs in the rural areas is the big solid white where you stop. I'm curious, do we also paint crosswalks that are on the county roads?
The county is responsible for the crosswalks, yes. Mr. Bolduc.
Yes, through you, Chair Don Castor, to Councillor Lynch and committee. There are some, so when you talk about crosswalks, there's also the school crosswalks. Some of those are painted by the lower tiers. Just, I don't know if you're asking that specific, but yes, the other crosswalks are painted by the county.
Supplementary? I could see it coming.
Thank you. No, it's just the town of Empire just finished painting the rainbow on our Daniel Street, and I'm curious if there's any county roads that have made application that we've approved, and then this painting company would then refresh those crosswalks. Thanks.
So if I recall, my recollection may not be as good as it should be, so I'll pass that on. If there was, my recollection is if there were specialty sidewalks installed, that the lower tiers were responsible for them, but, so, okay. Yeah, yeah, it's in a policy also. So. Okay, that was what, C. Anything else on C? Seeing nothing, we'll move on to item D, the bridge cleaning and inspection. Item E, the shoulder grading, Warden Emo.
Thank you, Chair. Through you, I've had the opportunity the last little while to travel on Highway 508 and 511. And so 508, I've noticed, I guess it's fiber going in on our shoulder, and they sometimes leave it on the weekend. And if somebody, we're fortunate when somebody hasn't pulled off and something has happened, because they don't seem to compact it, and it's not the same height. So again, just like last year when I talked about River Road, just making sure that utility companies do their job properly when they leave it, because it doesn't look good right now.
I don't know if staff has any comment? Taylor?
Thank you, Chair. Through you to the warden. It's been an ongoing issue. We do try to stay on top of them. Unfortunately, we do have concerns and have to bring them back to correct issues like that as well.
Keep my eyes open as I'm traveling and let you know.
Thank you for that. Anything else on item E? Item F. I had a question. Who does the trail, Warden Emo?
I'm sorry, I just thought of one thing. With item E, if there's an accident and something happens, a car burns and it ends up melting or disrupting the fiber, is our insurance company to have responsibility for that, or does theirs, or the car, or what happens with the repairs? I thought that the other day when I was traveling.
That's not what I think about when I travel, but Mr. Hanrath or Mr. Perkins?
To be honest, we haven't had that issue yet. I would imagine it would be the car's insurance if they were at fault. If not, it would probably go through the owner, which would be the fiber company.
Mr. Perkins?
Yes, thank you, Chair. And through you to Warden. We've had incidents where cars have burned, actual truck on Dorn Road, and of course the contractor was made responsible to repair that. And we also had a damage from a tractor on Cobden Road, and that was also done with insurance. So I'm assuming this would be the same, it would be the same instance if there was something of that nature, but I've never heard it happening yet, so hopefully it won't.
It's just because they're only, down about 18 inches in spots, in the good spots. And so that's what made me start thinking about it. When I was thinking if it got disrupted, who would pay?
Okay, trail maintenance, I saw nothing, but something came to mind. Who does the trail coordinator, which division or department does the trail coordinator report to? Okay, so it's not, okay. I wasn't sure if we ever did that complete transition or not. Okay, perfect. Item G, brushing and ditching program. Item H, roadside safety devices. Similar question to what the warden just had. Maintenance and repairs to damaged guardrails. If the guardrails are damaged in an accident, are we not claiming this on an insurance company? Evelyn?
Yes, we have a program in place where we, it's through ERIS, it's an OPP program that we download the information from, and we will charge or invoice the driver, and if they don't pay, then we go through the insurance to collect.
As long as it's reported instantly.
Right, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's nice to know. Mr. Bolduc.
Yes, just supplementary, Chair Doncaster. It is the operations staff that does the repairs. Some of the more complex ones, like the end treatments, we will bring a contractor out, and then again we would forward that invoice on. But most of the repairs are done by operations staff.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else on H? I, hazardous weeds program. Nobody's going to bite on that one. Move on to item number 2, fleet management and the motor vehicle inspections station program. Item A. Item B, the replacement service truck from 2022. I did confirm that the budgeted monies have been carried forward from there. Item number 3, quotes and tenders that were awarded under our delegation of authority. And that's all I got. Any random thoughts on any of the reports? Mr. Kelly.
I was waiting for you to have a motion on the report as a whole, but I'll ask the question and more. It just came up and just occurred to me. I think I know the answer already, but the price of steel, I know that it's going up, obviously, and it's causing quite a change to our tenders from our estimates, and that's a fluctuating commodity. But is the industry, is your industry looking at alternatives, including a high impact plastics or otherwise, as an alternative to the higher price steel?
Mr. Henrith.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to the CEO. For culverts, yes, we've moved to HDPE for any culverts that are 900 mil diameter or less, because their price is actually less than buying CSP at that size. For roadside safety, we have not thus far. Right now, the 2 options that are approved through MTO are steel beam guide rail or high tension cable. And the high tension cable comes at a higher cost and a higher maintenance cost than the steel beam at this time. So we do use the archived spec for steel 3 cable guide rail, which is what you see, the wooden post with the 3 cables on it. Unfortunately, that's not an approved spec going forward, and we only continue its use on straight stretches of road where it's still relatively lower risk. Any higher risk ones, we have to proceed with steel beam guide rail.
Yeah, it's interesting because any of the tenders that are coming in higher seem to have a steel component to them, so.
Yeah, again, Chair, with some latitude, yeah, so I just wasn't sure if the industry as a whole was looking at some of these plastics have evolved, and if the price of steel is going to skyrocket, let's call it, or a commodity that, you would think that the industry may have looked at alternatives in any market, quite honestly, to see if plastics were cheaper or some resins or otherwise that might be more readily available, but okay, no, just a question. Thanks, Chair.
Warden Nemo.
Thank you. And just when you use beams, is there a cutoff or a decision point to use steel posts or wooden posts to support the beams? Because you see some of them and I've never quite understood it.
Mr. Henrith.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to the Warden. It depends on the supplier. A lot of the suppliers will use steel beam because they're easier to drive in. Other suppliers prefer wooden posts, and they bring in a sucker truck to do the installation. So the install is higher on the wooden post, but the material cost is higher on the steel beam, and it ends up somewhat balancing itself out in the long run. But we go with the lowest cost option, so it's whichever one comes in cheaper in the long run.
Thank you for that. I'm going to take that as new business, but can I have a mover and seconder for the report as a whole? Moved by the member from Laurentian Valley, seconded by the member from McNabb Braeside. Any further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that's carried. I will actually ask if there's any new business for committee. Seeing none, I didn't have any closed meeting for today. Date of our next meeting is Tuesday, August 13th. I think I'm around then. And then County Council Wednesday, June 22nd. And seeing nothing else.
We may need you for a special meeting.
Yes, we may need to have a special meeting either before the next council meeting or the previous day that we would do by Zoom, except apparently for me after being in the room. So the Tuesday before next council meeting. I think there's something going on before council. So we would probably do it the Tuesday morning before council meeting. It will be 10 minutes probably. So just a warning. Other than that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by the member from Madawaska Valley, seconded by the member from Arm Prior. All those in favor? That is carried. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.